We want to live a baby girl life. Living a baby girl life doesn't mean that you're lazy all the time. It means that you work hard for the time when you can be lazy. Hey fam, how are you doing today? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Tobi Achudume. If this is your first time here, you're super welcome. So excited to have you here with me. So this video is for those of us that have lots of things that we want to do, lots of things that we want to achieve, but we always have an excuse for not doing it. Yep. I'm talking to you today. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, you're super welcome. I am so excited to have you here with me. Here on this channel, we talk about topics, tips and tricks that help us grow fearlessly to the best versions of ourselves. Without further delays, let's get into today's video. So you have a lot of things that you still want to achieve. We are halfway in the year, the second half of the year, right? And it still looks like all of these things, you still don't have time to do it. This video is for you. Let's talk about how to get what you want if you really want it. So the first thing I'm going to say you need to do is to ask yourself, how bad do you want it? Yeah. How bad do you want to see these goals achieved? How bad do you want to see this vision become a reality? How bad do you want to live the life that you envision yourself to live? How bad do you want it? You need to answer that question clearly, and you're not answering it for me because I've asked you to. Actually, I have asked you to. But you're also answering this question so that you can convince yourself that you really do not have any excuse for not doing the things that you need to do. All of the excuses that you're giving yourself are exactly just that, excuses. They are just excuses, and you need to stop giving yourself excuses. Yep. After answering the question of how bad do you want it, then let's get into the tips I have to share for you today. Number one is that you need to make time for that thing that you want to achieve. Yes. We say it all the time. I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time to go grocery shopping. I don't have time to work on this business. I don't have time to start this new business. I don't have time to start this YouTube channel. I don't have time for everything. We don't have time to do anything because we are so busy. We are just busy people. We are busy humans that what is time? There is no time to do anything. But you need to make time, because if it is important to you, and that's why I started with the question, how bad do you want it? Because if you want it as bad as you think you want it, not even know, just think, like you just have an idea of, I really want this thing so much. If you want it as bad as you think so, you are going to make time for it. You're going to make time for the things that you want to get. You're going to make time for the things that you value. We always say that we make time for the things that we care about. That includes your goals. So if you care about it, you're going to make time for it. If you actually want it, you are going to make time for it. So make time for it. Make time for the things that you want to do. Make time for those goals, those ideas that you have that you need to flesh out. I had to make time to create content that I want to create, not because there are not other things that I can be doing right now, but because this is important to me. I had to make the time to do it, right? And so you need to make time for the things that you want to achieve. You need to make time, because as much as I want things to just magically happen, they cannot magically happen. If it is magic, we would not even appreciate it, right? So you need to make time for these things. So for the people that are very busy, how do you make time for it? We're going to start with you sitting down and checking what you actually use your time for. So we have 24 hours in a day, and you have 24 hours 7 times a week, 30 or 31 times a month, right? What are you using these 24 hours to do? You want to check. You want to be very clear on the things that you're using this time to do. So what do you do with the 24 hours? When you're not sleeping, what are you doing? When you're not working, what are you doing? When you're not putting in time and effort to the things that matters to you, when you're not talking with your friends and your family, what are you doing? You want to check what exactly you're using this time that you don't have to do. What are the things that this time is going into? So what are you using your time to do? What are you making time for right now? You want to check what those are, because you knowing it is going to help you to know which of these things is important or not. So this is going to lead me to my second point, and that is, from the list of things that you have made as what you use your time for, you want to check which of these things are important. Because we occupy our days and our time with a lot of things that are not as important as we think that they are. And actually, sometimes as well, we're even doing things that you don't need to be doing. Sorry. You really don't need to be doing these things. But for whatever reason, it is easier for you to be doing these things than for you to be doing the things that you actually want to do. I have a video that I have talked about this. I'm going to have it linked here, so you should check it out. So you want to check exactly which of these things are important to you, which of these things are you actually doing things that you should be doing, or are they just time wasters? Are you just wasting your time with these things? You need to check exactly how this time is being spent and the things that are important that you're spending these things on or spending time on. And the third thing that you're going to do is you then want to see which of these things you can move around. So there are some things that you can put together as something to do at once. For example, your morning routine, your evening routine, you can absolutely do that. Prepping your meals, you can absolutely do that. Again, I have a video that I talk about this. I'm going to have it here. And so what you want to do is you want to then see which of these things can you move around? Which of these things do you not have to do right now? Which of these things can you let go of at this particular period? Which of these things can you shuffle? You want to be able to see that there are things that you can move, because there are actually things that you can move to make time for the things that are important to you. For example, you spend 5 hours on Instagram. Must you spend 5 hours on Instagram every day? You spend 3 hours watching Netflix or watching movies or anything. Must you actually spend that time watching movies for 3 hours every day when you have goals that you want to achieve or execute? If you don't have anything that you're working on, absolutely, please feel free. Spend 10 hours on Instagram. Watch all of the movies on Netflix or on YouTube or anything. But if you actually have things that you want to achieve by the end of the year, then maybe you want to see how you can start to cut down on things that are insignificant or irrelevant in the grand scheme of the lifestyle you want to live. We want to live a baby girl life. Living a baby girl life doesn't mean that you're lazy all the time. It means that you work hard for the time when you can be lazy. So when you want to achieve the things that you want to achieve, the goals, the visions that you see for yourself, then you're going to make time for it actively, intentionally make time for it. Number 2, sacrifice is important. I know that we just want things to happen. I want to have a glamorous life where I am doing nothing. I want to wake up and breakfast is ready. I want to just be able to step into my closet and somebody is there to put clothes on me. I don't have to think of anything. If we are going to get to the point where we have that, you're going to make a lot of sacrifices. And sacrifices is not something that we want to hear. Nobody wants to hear that, oh, you have to sacrifice this for this. But we actually do have to do it. God sacrificed Jesus to get the world. He wanted the world so bad that he had to sacrifice someone, his son, for it. If there is this thing that you actually want as bad as you want it, you're going to have to make sacrifices. What that looks like is then up to you. Sometimes you're sacrificing your rest. You're having 5 hours of sleep instead of 8 or 9, or how many hours of sleep do you normally have? Hours of sleep every night. There are times where you cannot go for hangouts or fun with your friends and family because you have something that you're working on. That is you making an active sacrifice for the goal, the vision that you want to achieve, or you want to see yourself living the life that you want to live. You are going to have to make sacrifices, and we need to get to a point where we are comfortable with making sacrifices. It's not all going to be glitz and glamour all the time. As annoying as that may sound, it's not always going to be glitz and glamour. Hard work is not always fancy. It's not always fun. It's not always cute and nice. But we need to do these things to live the life of ease that we want to have. Another thing to note on the point of sacrifice is that it's not going to be all the time, right? So Jesus was sacrificed one time. We don't sacrifice him over and over again. And the thing about sacrifice is that it's not always going to be all the time, right? So there are times that you would sacrifice rest and work. There are also times that you would have to sacrifice work for you to rest. It's just for you to know that for you to get to the point where you actually see the goals you have set for yourself become a reality, sacrifice is involved. Yeah, sacrifice is involved. And number 3 is that you need to be firm with yourself. So we've said all of these things. You need to make sacrifices for the goals that you want to achieve. Very important. Number 2, you need to make time as well. So you want to shuffle around and see things. What you need to be firm about is that when you then find the time to do the things that you want to do, are you going to do it? Are you going to be firm and strict with yourself and say, okay, we found this 1 extra hour every day because I want to do this thing. Are you going to do it, or you're going to lazy around? What we do most times when we find out that there is a free time somewhere, we want to sleep in, we want to catch up with movies or catch up on series or Just do something, and then before you know it, the time is gone, and then we have the excuse of not having time again. You need to be firm with yourself on the principles that you set to actually achieve this goal. So when you find 2 hours every morning to work on your goal, make sure that you're using those 2 hours to work on the goal. When you decide that you are going to wake up at 5 a.m. to do whatever it is that you need to do, make sure that you are actually getting up at 5 a.m. to do the things that you want to do. So again, to the question that started all of this, how bad do you want it? If you want it as bad as you think you want it, if you want it as bad as you say you want it, or as you said you wanted it at the start of the year, you are going to put in measures to make sure that you achieve it. But it's fine. We have 6 more months to achieve these goals that we have set for ourselves. What you need to do now is to actually start and not let excuses stop you from doing the things that you need to do. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any points that you would like to point out, please let me say in the comment section. Anything that you agree with, let me say in the comment section as well. What are you going to be trying going forward with your goals and your visions? Please share with me. I would love to see it. Thank you so much for watching again. Do not forget to share with as many people as you want to see win this year. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Till next time, bye.